Through the ages, beauty has had connotations of wealth and power. So people would use anything to try and become beautiful. The Egyptians used mercury and lead in their cosmetics. And in Elizabethan times, people would use makeup of white lead and arsenic to emulate the pale-skinned royalty of Queen Elizabeth I. So you'd think today, in our age of fitness and healthy living, we wouldn't harm ourselves on our quest for beauty. You'd be surprised. Even now, people are using potentially deadly chemicals to change the colour of their skin. And young girls are ending up in hospital after using tanning beds. In England, unmanned tanning salons are still legal. They allow unregulated access to tanning beds, which, if used for too long or too regularly, can cause burns and ultimately skin cancer. And yet, despite the warnings on the door, these salons are enabling children to get tanned. There have been cases in the news of girls as young as 10 getting burned. But why tan in the first place? Tanning can be part of people's identities. It has positive connotations of wealth, health, and also can contribute to your ideal self, which, for young girls, is often formed with influence of the media, especially magazines and television. This view of beauty goes past just looking good, however. It has been proven in numerous psychological studies that something called the physical attractiveness stereotype exists, or the what is beautiful is good. This theory is the assumption that based on their appearance, people who are physically attractive also possess other socially desirable traits as well. A case to look at is Kelly Thompson, a 10-year-old girl who ended up with burns on over 70% of her body after spending 16 minutes on an unsupervised sunbed. She said she learned to love her pale skin after years of using sunbeds. But while these young girls burn on sunbeds, a more sinister form of tanning is emerging. How would you feel about injecting yourself with a research drug just to get a tan? Melanotan, the new tanning craze, is scarily becoming more and more easily available. It stimulates the production of melanin, the brown pigment in skin, which gives you that tan without having to fry under dangerous UV light. That sounds safe. But melanotan is an unlicensed medicine, which means it hasn't gone through the clinical trials and tests to make sure it's safe, which all medicines have to go through before they can be proven safe to get a medical license. From a feminist perspective, being tan is just another factor in what a woman should be. A fad started by Coco Chanel and perpetuated by men's magazines. It also shows just how successful the media is at telling people how to look. As a dual heritage person, my skin colour has always been a huge part of my identity. It often forms a big part of other people's identities as well. Recently, connotations about skin colour have begun to change. However, racism still exists, and those ideas that people with light skin are good and people with dark skin are bad are still around. Edward Said and his theory on Orientalism tries to ask how people understand people with different skin colour to them. It primarily focuses on terrorism and Middle Eastern societies, and how the media uses the image of a terrorist as a threatening and dangerous figure. With this figure being shown almost daily in the media, it seems quite ironic that while we demonise people with a stereotypically darker skin than us, some people still go out and darken their skin by tanning. It's also ironic that while some people with lighter skin try to darken it, some people with darker skin try to lighten it. Skin lightening is often associated with white colonialism and institutionalised racism, with people who lighten their skin branded as having low self-esteem and self-hatred. Often, celebrities accused of whitening their skin are very defensive and deny the claims, although it's often very obvious.